Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Tazkia Azzahra with student number 12219000026 from the Faculty of Architecture in major of Architecture. It is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of my institution, which is Indonesian Institute of Technology. Now, here I'm bringing the title from my creative of the project. It's sustainable waste and sustainable market. Before I start, I would like to ask, what is the first thing we always see in the market? In the traditional market, we often see a lot of trash, a lot of garbage that we usually step on in the street, on the street, and we usually see it as normal because it's already been a habit for us. But what if we can change that into the new life, into the sustainable way, so that our future kids wouldn't even see the traditional market as bad as we've always have seen before. As we always know that the market, traditional market, has been perceptions that it has a bad smell, it has a bad road, and a bad things that could bother us while we're having a transaction between the buyer and a seller. So here, I will give you from my project that is sustainable waste and sustainable market. Therefore, through this short speech, I will remind all of you to know how important it is to keep the environment clean and make the waste will sustain. So I've come up with the problems here, sustainable waste and sustainable market. Why do I come up with sustainable waste? Here I have the news that in Indonesia, there are 90% of traditional market, which known that is unused because of the condition itself. And here's the news that it says that the head of the Industry and Trade Office of the West Sumatra Province government, Asben Henry, said that only 362 of the 532 units of the traditional market spread across 19 districts or cities or equivalent to 68.2% were in damaged condition, both light, medium, and heavy damage. And Mr. Asben also said that the causes of market damage were quite diverse, ranging from the age of the building being quite old, lack of maintenance, and being affected by natural disasters. He also mentioned that the number and capacity of traditional markets are not comparable to the number of traders, causing overcapacity. This causes traders to fill the shoulders of the road around the market and trigger congestions, which has an impact on regional economic losses. So we know that the garbage is the residue of human daily activities and or natural processes, solid form. The type of waste that are managed are household waste, and specific waste. Trash must be managed properly in order to create healthy living environment, while at the same time obtaining benefits that may still obtain from the in existence. So here we've come up with the current solution that the waste management has been regulated in law number 18 year of 2008, final processing site, or we known as TPA. TPA is a place for processing and return waste to environmental media safely for humans and environment. Waste processing is proceeded by changing the characteristic, compositions, and amount or volume of waste. Provisions of TPA in big cities facing land constraints. Therefore, landfill management regionally becomes more necessary. And also here we have the number of the capacity of our waste fill. that it's only 111 million that the TPA could being filled as the capacity. Meanwhile, that there are a lot of the trash and of the waste that came inside to the TPA. And here we have the data. I have the data of the capacity for the TPA versus the waste that just came into the TPA concern from each province in Indonesia. So here I've come up with a vision that there are several other factors that are said to be success factors waste management. Namely, we have to consistent trash can color, which we will have it as for waste management. We will make it separated for 4 colors. And the number 2 is that there is a provision at the collection location stickers are attached for the raw material and fines for discrepancies in separate collection. Also, that number 3, that payment per disposal using a barcode with the price determined by the type of material. So we can conclude that they have the price to pay, and therefore they have to see it as a straight rules. There are no such thing as go outside of the rule. And then number 4, we have use of organic digesting organism in food waste management. Also here, why I come up with the waste management and the market, because as we've seen it in here, that the market has an impact for the society, also for the economic itself, for the nations, which means that in here it comes up with the environmental sustainability. If we really can manage it better, if we can make the waste management much better, so we will give the better impact for the environmental sustainability, which it will also impact for the water, organism, energy, and for the resources or the infrastructures. Here the waste management that I've come up that are for the color that we have to make it specified for the wasting management or the trash. Number 1, we have the brown trash, which are the brown trash cans are intended for organic waste, such as kitchen waste, such as vegetable waste, fruit peels, leaves, coffee, and tea waste. And the blue trash cans are intended for paper-based waste, such as books, paper, newspaper, magazines, cardboards, or etc. And for the green waste that is difficult to recycle, such as sanitary napkins, baby diapers, tissue, toys, household furniture, and food waste that does not run out. And the yellow one is for packaging waste made for plastic or metal, such as milk packaging, canned drink, soap, and shampoo packaging, and also cosmetic packaging. Some electronic waste can also be disposed of in this trash, such as used CDs or DVDs, cables, and batteries. Here also the waste management I will be given for the project is that separating the types of compost waste also helps the process of sorting, recycling, and incineration become more efficient because each type of compost waste has different characteristics. The decomposed waste is in the landfill is the main factor in the formation of the methane gas, which causes the greenhouse effect. Recycling of compost and renewing organic waste is a form of contribution to the conservation of energy resources, as well as efforts to protect the climate. And also, the next. Here I come up with the solutions as I'm from the architecture major, which I design a sustainable market. Here, the sustainable market, we have to know that the traditional market firstly have to be revitalized. Why? Because in here, revitalizations with the concept of sustainable market shelter has the potential that is in line with the needs of the most environmental conditions rather than people's market, which can be used as a development target to support one of the one Indonesian economic transformation with SDGs as the main instrument in strategy number 2, namely the productivity of the economic sectors that include industrialization, MSME production, and agricultural modernizations. Here we have a model that in here we use the material that can sustain for years, which are the roof here are using the solar of the energy, so we don't have to care, we don't have to concerning of the energy that they have to pay, which we know that Indonesia has a lot of traditional market. Also, the sustainable market here comes up within the sustainable waste management. So I've come up with a shelter, which this shelter can also manage of the waste management itself and also bring up the solution for the market itself, that the market has to be sustainable, because it brings up that it could change the world, could change the nation, it could change the country by the economic and also by how the waste management itself. So I guess, thank you for listening. That's it for my project. Thank you.